While former gubernatorial candidate and convicted sex offender Eliot Cutler was back in court in Ellsworth today and is again free on bail. Cutler faced 5 motions related to probation violations, including accessing sexually explicit content and having devices that can connect to the internet without them being monitored. Cutler pleaded guilty to 4 of the motions without defense, but the 5th motion focused on having encrypted information without disclosing the passwords to his probation officer. He argued he is allowed to have encrypted information when it relates to financial and medical information, but those are subject to random searches. The court determined Cutler did not object to any searches, but he did have devices that could not be accessed. Cutler was also seeking access to the internet to continue his therapy and treatment, which he says is done virtually due to driving distance.
But you do a lot of thinking, and I did a lot of thinking about my goals and I narrowed my objectives. And I decided that all I wanted to do was get out of jail, continue my treatment, so that I could restore my self-respect, so that I could justify my family's faith and support, confidence to me, and so that I could eventually live a real-world life as a recovered, not just recovering, but a recovered addict.
The hearing will resume on June 1st. Cutler was released on the previous $10,000 bail he posted until the next hearing.